Hello lovelies, how are you all doing? Welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm gonna show you how to make an event mouth-watering milk chin chin without measuring cup. So this half bag of flour, and I shared into two equal parts in a bowl, and the ingredients I'm gonna be using for this chin chin are butter, sugar, milk. I also have milk in this nylon as well. So this bowl plate is what I'm gonna use as my measuring cup. So in each bowl I'm gonna add two plate of sugar in each bowl, and take note, adding of the sugar depends on preference, how you want it. If you want the chin chin to be more sugary, you can add more than 2 plates. If you don't want it sugary, 1 cup is okay. And each time you add, make sure you measure, make sure you mix it. So this is nutmeg. Nutmeg is based on preference, how you want it. If you want the chin chin to taste more of nutmeg, you can add more, but in this case I don't want it much, so this one is enough for me, which is gonna go for the both. So like I said before, each one you add, you mix thoroughly. So I'm gonna be adding sugar to the one my sister is going to be mixing, so we can be doing it at the same time. So this is milk. Like I said before, I want the chin chin to taste more of to be more milky. So in each bowl I'm gonna be adding 1.5 plate of milk, as you can see in the video. Lest I forget, our hands are thoroughly washed with soap before starting this process, because it's not something you do with gloves on. So mix thoroughly to avoid part of the flour losing taste. So at this point I'm putting baking powder. The work of baking powder is to rise the flour. So as you can see, I'm putting 2 handfuls of baking powder in each bowl. So it depends on how you want it, and please take note as well, do not put too much of baking powder, because remember that chin chin is supposed to be crunchy. If you make it too much, you're gonna lose the crunchiness, because it's gonna end up becoming too soft. So in the bowl I'm gonna be putting 2 handfuls of baking powder, and we mix thoroughly. So this is egg. We're gonna be using 3 crates of egg. I want the chin chin to be rich and crunchy, but the crunchiness is not gonna be hard. It's gonna be like soft crunch and milky as well. So egg is gonna help us achieve that. So I'm gonna be using 3 crates of eggs, which I will share between the 2 bowls. So this is what 3 crates of eggs looks like. So I create hole in the middle of the flour, a very deep hole, where I'm gonna be pouring the eggs. And there's one thing I noticed about some other people: prefer to rub in their butter first before pouring their eggs, but I prefer to rub in my eggs first in the flour before adding my butter. It makes it easier to mix, and at the end of the day you still get very perfect and uniform results. So this is me sharing the egg into 2 equal parts in the 2 bowls. after thorough mixing, rubbing in the eggs in the flour, I'll create another hole in the middle of the flour to add in my butter. So this is me adding 2 spoons of butter in each bowl. Okay, I want the chin chin to be creamy, crunchy and milky. So this chin chin is very rich chin chin. So this is basically me adding, I think I added 3, not 2. I added 3 spoons. This is kitchen spoon, the spoon we use to cook, not the one we used to eat, as you can see in the video. So this is the scoop, what it looks like. So I added 3 scoops of butter in each bowl, and then we rub it in properly into the flour. As you can see, my sister is not that strong when it comes to things like this, so I handled everything myself. So after mixing mine, I'm gonna also take over hers and do as well. But this to me is actually very easy compared to rubbing in the flour. Rubbing in the butter first before the eggs. So this is the last but not the least, water. So I use warm water because I want it to melt the butter into the flour so that it will marinate properly. So you add the water little by little because we are trying to create dough. So you add water little by little. If it's still strong, you add little water. Okay, it's not gonna be too sticky. If it's too sticky, you add flour to it, okay, until you get to that dough form. So you watch and see how I'm doing it until I get to the final result. So you pay very, very attention while mixing it, okay. Once it stops sticking to the bowl, it means that we are getting to the final result. So thorough mixing so that some parts will not lose taste. It's very, very important. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, the dough is no more sticking to the bowl. So then allow it to rest for 30 minutes to rise properly before the final stage of cutting, which I'm gonna show you in a moment. So this is space I'm going to use to do the cutting. I've already cleaned it with water, so and then spread flour on it to avoid the dough sticking. So when rolling out the dough, it depends on how thin or thick you want your chin chin to come out. Okay, if you want your chin chin to be thin, if the end product is for the chin chin to be thin, you have to roll it out very, very flat, so when cutting it, it will be thin. But if you want it thick, do not roll it out too flat. So, and when it comes to cutting, it depends on the design you want. This is where you show your creativity if you are good in that. There are so many shapes you can create, like square, triangle, all those stuff. If you are good at that, it will make the chin chin look more attractive. So, but this is me doing it the way I know best. I'm not good in creating styles, but it doesn't matter though. Whatever style they are good at, go for it. The most important thing that if the chin chin is good enough, okay, is quality enough for people to enjoy, they will not even notice your design. They will rush it and even ask for more. So this is the final stage of the process, frying, and we need oil to do the frying. Okay, we're gonna be doing deep frying. So this is me here pouring the oil inside the pot we are using to fry. Okay, and I've already set aside the fire, which you can see there burning. We are using to do the deep frying of the chin chin, and that's the final stage of the process. So first thing first, I'll allow the oil to heat up a little bit, then test it with small chin chin to see the level of heat from the oil. So if the chin chin flows on the oil, it means that it's hot enough to fry the chin chin. Okay, so you go ahead and start your frying, but do not put too much chin chin that is bigger than the oil, because it will end up draining the oil and it won't come out nice. Okay, it will come out soaked with a lot of oil. So the chin chin, to know that the chin chin is frying well, it will all flow on the oil. As you can see in the video, it flows on the oil, and with that process, that's how you keep on turning it, so it won't, part of it will not get burnt until it turns golden brown. Then remove it immediately from the fire and spread it to drain out the oil. Then continue the process of frying. If the oil reduces, you add more oil, okay, until you are done frying your chin chin. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the final result of my mouth-watering milk chin chin, which is ready to fly to the final destination of where it will be, destroyed. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, because I have a lot to share on this channel. For now, bye. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Okay. I'm fine, ma.